I'm gonna do this really quick because it keeps like getting deleted. But moral of the story, the whole purpose of what I was trying to post is the government is not going to pump all of that money into these, programs to promote international marriage, and once these international couples have children, they're pumping money into, the child incentive after birth, daycare, preschool, other programs for the children, parental leave, maternity leave for these children. And then they're not going to just go and give, custodial guardianship in the divorce, no matter how many red flags or bad things are on the list, like alcoholism, abuse toward the child, things like that on the Korean parents' side. But yet, the foreign spouse might be perfectly fine for raising this child, none of that on their list. They're still not going to usually, unless it's a very, very big abuse issue or something that would make them look horrible to choose that parent, they're not going to choose the foreign spouse as the custodial parent. The reason being is because they're not going to pump all that money into these children when their birth rate is low and then just give guardianship over to, per se, the better fit foreign spouse if they're better fit, and then end up having that spouse have the choice to either live here or live in their home country. And then they risk that any time between now and the child is 18 that parent might be like, this place isn't really for me. And then, or maybe they need more family, things like that. There's a list of reasons why they might potentially go back home. They're not going to leave that risk of already having pumped years and years of money into a child to help their birth rate here. And then that parent might possibly just go home and that child might be raised as their nationality and have no benefit to them here. So that was my whole point on it. I've had a lot of foreign friends, a lot of Korean, friends and people on here who have messaged who think that as well, that it's pretty ironic that they are pumping money into these programs, but yet the way that the police handle these situations, the way that the law handles these situations, is very biased. But also just in general, even without the whole foreign national aspect, when you look at Korean couples, the law still, there's a lot of mothers who have this issue. They might be in abusive relationships and leave or try to leave, or maybe there's a divorce going on and one of the mother or father just takes the child somewhere and withholds them. There needs to be better laws in place like other countries where there's not allowed to be a withholding of the child. Sorry, she needed me to peel her orange. Anyway, the law needs to change. A lot of countries have it where you're not allowed to withhold a child during a divorce. You have to still do co-parenting until that's over and finalized and chosen. Or, that you're not allowed to without a severe emergency reason that happened towards the child, not even yourself. So these things don't really happen that often, in places like my home country. You would have to get a court order to withhold a child, and it had to be for a really good reason, a really serious reason, like the child was being abused by that parent. Even if, you were being abused by that parent per se, unless it was something that could harm the child, meaning that parent was abusing the child or doing something towards that child, you would still have to let them have parenting time. Not saying that's right, but I'm just saying something in the law needs to be updated here, because this is absolutely ridiculous. They're not upholding Hague here, and their own law system is just very broken. So anyway, that's my rant for today. I know it seems like I'm ranting. It's because I nicely recorded this like 4 or 5 times, and I need to clear my cache, I think it's called, on TikTok, and it keeps just deleting it before I post. Have a good day.